Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the School Owners
You
Forum.
mean me, Mr. Adeniji?
Yes, ma. We are live already. So let us continue. I'll communicate with you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you, ma.
got you. Are you referring to
Thank you.
me?
Yes, ma. I am. I will send you a text. I will send you a message on WhatsApp for you to understand better. We are live now. All right. You're welcome, everyone. This is the School Owners Forum, Nigeria's largest training network of school owners, school admins, and teachers, and education stakeholders generally. This meeting, we have advertised it, and it is titled Montessori, Phonics, and Diction. We want to clear the misconceptions. We want to look at the purposes of each. We want to look at the differences. And then we want to start a way forward generally for stakeholders to make the best opportunity out of all of this. So
Okay,
we are
Mr.
going
Adeniji.
to, I'm going to introduce my panelists. I'm going to introduce my panelists, and they will also introduce themselves. I have with me here Madam Tolulope Yama. Mrs. Tolulope Yama is the CEO of Jolly Edu Growth Network. She has a school, she has a Montessori school, and then she also has a Montessori training outfit. We're going to talk about more of that as we continue. Also, I have on the line in the room Mrs. Unimke. Mrs. Unimke is based in Calabar, and the she is our own outfit. Let me just get it very quickly so that everything will be fine. I have her here. Uh, okay, sorry. As we go on, I will get her profile. It is with me here. Now, we are also waiting for Mr. Emmanuel. Mr. Emmanuel is the phonics expert in the house. He has not connected, but he will connect very soon. Also, I'm trying to get full details of everyone. Okay, Mrs. Favour Unimke Akpagwu is lead partner and consultant, Zenith Educational Concerns in Calabar, while Mrs. Tolulope Yama is the CEO of Jolly Edu Growth Network here in Lagos. Now, as a way of introduction, about 3 years ago, I was checking through our website, and I noticed that 3 years ago, a wonderful wrote an article and posted it on our forum. I had to take permission from her that we would have to broadcast that article on all our networks. Now I'm going to share my screen, and you're going to see the article. She titled it "Phonics Revolution in Our Schools." At that point, it was like there was a revolution. Everyone wants to be either a Montessori school or a phonics. People are even getting it confused. I will not dive into that area because I'm not an expert in that area. But well, that's why I got experts on the field. Even me myself, I will learn. Because you see, some of us that are education stakeholders, we connect with thousands of people. If we are not educated, the industry will not be educated. A lot of people listen to us, they wait on us for facts. And then when they say, Mr. Adeniji, sometimes I just say, well, I may not be, if it comes to growing your school, this business side of your school, making your population double, you can call me. You understand? But when it comes to this aspect, it is not exactly our field. That's why we got experts to talk about it in the house. So let me share my screen, for example, so you see what some of things that Mrs. I'm going to. All right, okay. Let me share my screen. It is here. You will see. I believe you can see my Madam Tolulope Yama. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it. I can.
I'm sure everybody can also. The name of that wonderful woman is Mrs. Ronke Amos. Actually, I think she's the owner of a particular school in Lekki called Stepfield. You know, she's also a voice in the industry. She titled that article Phonics Revolution in Our Schools. So if you want to read the whole article, you can go to our website, School Owners Forum, and just search for the word phonics. The article will come up. You know, this is what she said. One of the things she said, I read through the article. She said that, simply put, vernacular is any language that is not the native language of society. I wondered how our indigenous language falls into this category. Anyway, she said a lot of things, and she said oftentimes, like actors, these phonicians have to get into character for them to be able to deliver. In their business environment, they appear to speak Queen's English, but at home, they switch to Nigerian voice, their natural accent. What a life of duality. Now, she was trying to paint the picture of where our children have to speak phonics before they can be certified as being brilliant. Or at the same time, she was also decrying the situation whereby school owners have to attach the tag Montessori without knowing anything about it, or without knowing much about it, to their flyer or to their signboard, for them to be deemed as a good school. A lot of things she said in that article, I will not be able to, but let me read her conclusion. Her conclusion was that, above all, let us focus on helping our children to develop these core skills that they will need to navigate life and to work in a global economy. She said that is the essence of education. She's Madam Ronke Amos. I would have gotten her on the show today, but I was not able to. It was too late when I contacted her. So that was her own submission. You understand? So now we're going to come back to the class today. I'm going to start with Madam Tulokwe Yama. Now, by way of introduction, let's break it down very well. What is Montessori, and how is it very important? How is it related? How is it connected with phonics and diction? Because those are the three things we are looking at together. So, Madam Tulokwe Yama, I'm opening the floor to you right now.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. And it's nice to be on the show today. Now, talking about Montessori, we have had a lot of issues about misconception about Montessori. Sometimes when you ask people that what is Montessori, you hear it's a way of making children play. That when you let children play, though playway method is a method of education, but that is not Montessori. So in introducing Montessori, we have discovered that it's just a way of making children relate with their environment and learn at the same time, bringing out the innate potential in children through introducing them to activity and experiences in their environment. So you can't really narrow it down to playway method or whatever, and all those things that they use to make us believe. So that is the short meaning, the easiest meaning of a layman about Montessori. So it's a method of teaching, just like every other method. It's a method of teaching where the innate potential of children are being exposed through the experiences in their environment. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. That's a very bright introduction. I'm going to switch to Madam Unimke. Mrs. Unimke, now Mrs. Yama has made us understand that, okay, Montessori is just a method of education, but I'm sure it is very developed, because maybe somebody called that Montessori is the name of a person. So, Madam Unimke, tell us how the person called Maria Montessori, how she came about that method of education, how is it that we are now all adopting it right now? Please unmute your mic, Mrs. Unimke. Hello, Mrs. Unimke. Can you hear me? All right. It's like there's an issue with our audio. All right, Mrs. Unimke, you are live. Please go on, ma'am. Mrs. Unimke. All right, Mrs. Yama, let me come back to you. I'd like you to clarify. I'd like you to clarify that for viewers who are watching us now, we know that before Maria Montessori came up with the Montessori method of education, there was education. So now, what was the difference? What is so complex? How did it get so much that Maria Montessori had to build a whole body of knowledge out of that, such that we can now adopt it and even be proud of it? Now, please give us the connection, give us an insight to the work of Maria Montessori, how she came about the Montessori method of education. Come on, you can go on.
Okay, thank you. Montessori method of education was developed through what you call circumstances. You know, when you have special circumstances and you have to have critical thinking in getting to solve the problem. That is how we have it. She's actually an Italian physician. And during her age, there was a discrimination between women being educated in a particular field. They believe that women should be maybe teachers, homemakers, and so on. So professional-wise, women were not permitted to do some work like engineering, like medicine, like all those ones. But she was fortunate through some rigors. The story is long, but to cut it short, she through discrimination, she was given a part of medicine that has to do with children that were not actually children that were challenged, children having challenges, children from low income family, and so on. Now, this particular thing happened when there was a need for people to take their children, to drop their children and go to work. Many are workers. So they gathered some of them together in a place where they needed someone to take care of them. Now, also, during our course of training, she was in a psychiatric, and she discovered that some of the children that we call challenged children, like they are having brain retardation, some that are not really well kept, you know, all those disabilities, natural disabilities were in them. So she started looking at them, watching them. She discovered a pattern in these children that actually they have a way of their own way of adjusting to life challenges. So she started with them, and she was able to train them with some didactic materials, that is specified materials.
Madam Yama, you mentioned something now. She said she made use of didactic
materials.
All right, now let me hold your thoughts. You're going to continue from that point after this break. So we're going on a short break. Please hold your thought. Don't forget, I'm enjoying the story because, as a matter of fact, people need to hear this so that you know that when we talk about things in education, education always has a history part of it. Without that history, you may not actually make the best of what you have with it. So let me hold your thought while we go for this break. Then we come back and continue from exactly where you stopped.
Hello, school owner. You need a social media and web assistant, someone who will design flyers, beautiful flyers, twice every week, manage your website, and make sure that the beautiful things that happen in your school on daily basis well presented to an online audience, both your parents and even prospective parents who are not in your school. Every day in the life of a school is an event, is a story that can be packaged and told to the world. Unfortunately, many of us pay hundreds of thousands of naira, sometimes millions as salaries, but we don't have anybody managing our image online. He will design 2 flyers per week, post those articles on your social media handles, also post them on your website, and follow up on your pages, comments, and all of that. Before you know it, you begin to get calls. Don't limit yourself to your physical environment. There are many people out there looking for your kind of school, but they are not seeing it because they are Googling it online, they are going on social media. they are not seeing you. So you need a social media assistant and a web assistant.
Hello.
Everyone knows that on SOF we have 3 textbooks, and these are the books written by David Adeniji, convener of the School Owners Forum. We're talking about the 4-legged school growth strategy. That is the best book when it comes to school growth. We're talking about thrive, how to thrive with your school business in this new era, especially after the pandemic. A whole new era came to school business and you need to learn it. Thrive is a book to read. And then talking about the indispensable teacher, no, there is no other book that helps you manage teachers more than that. Even teachers actually are the ones who need this book too. So you need the book as a school owner. The teachers also need the book. Just order these 3 copies. There's a combo package that is very cheap. That is the price there. You will see it, and then we're going to ship the books to you. The 4-legged school growth strategy, the indispensable teacher, and Thrive. Get those books today. Many of us use school management software that limit us in one way or the other because they have not been upgraded to meet present global trends. Now you need to switch to Thinkali. Thinkali is Nigeria's largest school management software. Switch to Thinkali. It won't take you more than hours. We will do the switch for you. So it manages all your operations, admissions, exams, timetables, e-learning, online classes. Just name it. Bulk SMS. Everything is in it. Online exams, CBT. So switch to Thinkali school management software today. So you can go to thinkali.net. That is thinkali.net. Go there and check the features.
All right, you're welcome, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you for hanging in the class. We have a host of people online. We have company. We are streaming on Facebook. We are streaming on YouTube. We did not stream on MixLR today. We are sorry for those who just want to listen. But we're going to stream on MixLR from next week. Now, I was with Mrs. Olokwe Yama. She was giving us the history of Montessori, how that Maria Montessori, she did all of what she has said, and then she was able to. She got to a point. She mentioned didactic material. Now, Mrs. Yama, we have another guest in the room. One of our guests, Mr. Emmanuel Abayomi. We have another guest in the room. One of our guests, Mr. Emmanuel Abayomi. Okay, there's a reverb. Mr. Emmanuel, can you remove your earpiece and use the phone directly? Remove your earpiece. There's a reverb. Mr. Emmanuel, can you remove your earpiece and use. Okay, let me come to Mrs. Yama. Now let me unmute you, ma, and then you continue. Just round off that history and then tell us how it then connects how Maria Montessori. Just conclude that history so that we move forward. Thank you, ma.
What it's about the didactic materials, and these are materials that are well designed intentionally to support learning in children, and we have the environment to be well prepared. That is, you think the child is playing, whereas the child is actually learning, is actually discovering some new things. So these are the areas that are very special in Montessori, and these are the areas that people sometimes have misconceptions about. So when you see a child playing with a particular material that has a name, has a reason, has extension exercises, you understand, the child plays with it or is made to work with those things, and in working with them, your learning is taking place. So those are the short explanations I can give you about that because of our time. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Yama, those didactic materials, are they the ones that we see the children work with these days now when they are in a Montessori class?
Yes, sir. So they have names. They have functions. They have strategies of introducing them. That's their presentations and so on and so forth. So it's a kind of specialized education that is you have a particular knowledge, a particular skill before it can achieve its results. Otherwise, if it is not well presented, it is a play.
All right. Okay, so let me go to Mr. Emmanuel Adebayo. He's going to bring in the phonics and diction angle to it, because for many years, people, or even up to now, I tell you, many people do not really know the difference between running a Montessori school and then teaching children phonics and diction. A lot of people think, okay, they will say, we are in Montessori school. All they will do is to just bring get a phonics teacher. And so when you ask them, are you running Montessori? Yeah, we're running Montessori. See, here our children are teaching. Oh, Mr. Emmanuel is he's off. Mr. Emmanuel, please come back online. He's off now, but then I was going to throw that question, but I don't know if Mrs. Unimke also, I will have brought you on, but there's a reverberation in your microphone, and also there is a lag. But then let's try to see how we can get that solved. Ms. Yama, maybe you are the one that will help us answer that question. You're the one that will help us answer that question. So go ahead.
Yes, actually, what you said, it's right. Many practitioners do not actually know that it's not all about phonics. Montessori has its own phonics, which we call Montessori Phonics. It has its own presentation, grouping, and the way we present things, which is quite different from other phonics. So when you talk about phonics that they talk about today, some people use Jolly Phonics, which I've seen many people doing, and it's okay. You understand? So Montessori is not phonics. Phonics has to do with sounds. That is sounds that letters make. So in Montessori subject, we also have Montessori phonics. So when you are doing phonics in your school, and that's the only thing you are doing, it doesn't make you a Montessori school. Like now, if you are running a Jolly Phonics, if you are in your system, you are using Jolly Phonics. That is not Montessori phonics. It's not the same thing, because the presentations are different. While one will be using the action, it will use the song, and will use the words, their formation, letter formation, and so on. Jolly Montessori, we use it from the object. You understand? From the object, then to the first sound, then to the sounding, to blending, to sentence, like that. So it graduates to before you conclude. So there is it's different method. So Montessori is not phonics.
Okay.
Phonics, Montessori phonics is part of a Montessori subject.
Yeah. So Montessori phonics is only a part of the Montessori method.
In our literacy, yes, it is. It's just
it is not
part.
that.
So we have other ones.
It's not
just
that
like when you are talking about number sense. You understand? Okay. Number sense. We have our own style of number sense in Montessori too. That is how we create number awareness. You understand? Estimate 180 has its own. Close lines maths has its own. Everybody like that. Brands. Let me do brand. Like branding, like brands.
Okay. All right, ma.
Be clearer like that.
It's getting clearer. It's getting clearer. But the question I want to ask is Montessori does it have its own curriculum? Is it that there is if I want to run Montessori now, there's a special curriculum for it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What is that curriculum?
If you are running a Montessori school,
okay,
we have our own subject areas, and we have our elective too. So in Montessori setting, if you are running a Montessori setting or a Montessori school or a Montessori curriculum, which most of us blend with other curriculum, we don't use because it's quite expensive. If you want to use only curriculum, Montessori curriculum, it's quite expensive. So what we do is blending, as in we extract and use the ones from different curriculum to have a robust curriculum. So it has its own specific subject. Sensory education, we have practical life, we have number work, numeracy, we have literacy, we have cultural subjects. Cultural subjects, that one, it includes many subjects that we put together that is helping the children. So those are the 5 core subjects we do. So we can have elective in creative art, in music, and in local languages or the language of the environment. Those are just electives. So if you say you are running a Montessori school and these subjects are not there, It's also in the primary school.
Also in the primary
so don't
school.
be confused.
So don't be confused.
We are
When people
running.
say
We are running. There's an echo from my side. I hope it's okay.
It's not your side. It's not your side.
Okay. Okay. So don't be confused when people say we are running a Montessori school only in the preschool. We don't have in the primary school. You understand? It runs to 12 years. So if you really know how to blend your ways, you will achieve more in them. And one of the greatest assets that we have as Montessorian is the display of joy in our setting. That is joy. And that is it. Wherever you have joy, learning takes place. So if happiness can be inculcated, it's more or less what positive education is teaching us now. That's what Montessori has introduced to us long time ago. Now we are having positive education everywhere, which if you use Montessori method, even if you blend it, you will still achieve it. That is the summary of the history and the story about Montessori.
In short,
So we have our own core subject.
It's getting very interesting. Ms. Yama, thank you very much for the further explanation. If you have any question, everyone watching us, following us, just send a chat, drop a chat. As a matter of fact, if you are online right now, I want you to drop a chat on the chat box. Tell us your school and tell us where you are following from. I mean, tell us your state, tell us your country, tell us your school. It will help us to track and make sure that you actually got the best. We're going to follow you up. So if you are following this, drop your school and then let us know where you are following from. Now, I want to go to Mr. Emmanuel. Now, Mr. Emmanuel, please, I want you to remove your earpiece. Just remove it. Let the phone work directly so that the reverberation, the reverb we are getting from you will not be there anymore. Did you hear me, sir? Because that's why I muted you. So I'd like you to remove your earpiece and use the phone directly. Yes, you got it. So now, I think I have unmuted you now. You should be unmuted now. Now, talk to me, Mr. Emmanuel. Talk to me.
You should be unmuted now. Now, talk to me, Mr. Emmanuel. Talk to me.
Okay, hello, Mr.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Mr. David. Good morning, Mr.
Yes,
David.
Good
morning, Mr. David.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
We're still having the reverb.
Good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Hello, sir.
We're still having the reverb. Hello, sir.
I can hear you, Mr. David. I can hear you, Mr. David. Mr. David, right. I can hear you.
Let me ask you this question, sir.
Hello, now, Mr. David, Yama, I can hear you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I can hear you too. Mrs. Yama just gave us a good explanation of the difference between.
Sir. Now, Mrs. Yama.
Oh, we're still getting the right. But you just gave us the difference between Montessori and Phonics. Now, I want to throw in this question. Talk to us. What can you say is the correlation? According to your own field, you are an expert.
Is the correlation?
Phonics expert and you are an elocutionist. In what way does phonics and elocution enhance the learning of the children?
Enhance the learning of the children.
Did you get the question, sir?
Please come again, sir.
Did you get the question, sir?
I didn't get the question. Please come again.
Okay, I will. The question is, in what way does phonics, because without phonics, there was education.
In what way?
I remember when I attended nursery school, there was no Montessori. But unless our school was not a Montessori school, and then we don't do phonics. But now every school wants to do phonics. I mean, in short, it's good. So I'm not asking you, in what way does it affect? Does it enhance the development of the children in their schools today? In what way? Did you get it, sir? Oh, I think he didn't. Mrs. Yama, are you still there?
Hello,
All right,
sir.
Mrs. Yama, are you there?
Yeah, I am, sir.
Okay, now let me continue the conversation with you while we take care of their ends. Now, the question I was posing to Mr. Emmanuel is that okay, let's take Montessori aside, because I have a lot of questions to ask you from what you just told us the other time. Let's take Montessori aside. Let's assume I have a school and my school is not a Montessori school. Does it mean that I'm not running the right form of education?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Question: must I run a Montessori school before my school?
You don't have to. You don't have to. Actually, when I started my school, I used to call it a Montessori school. I put Montessori in my name. Okay. But at the point, I discovered that it has been murdered. People don't even know the system, the practice. So I have to remove it. So it is not until you run a Montessori school that you can have it. It's just a booster. It's just an added advantage. That is it. So you don't have to run a Montessori school. It's not compulsory. We have our own Nigerian system of education, and it's working for us. So it is just when we want to take it to the next level.
Wait, ma.
It's just when we want to take it to the next level.
Are you okay? Are you saying Montessori is not our indigenous method of education?
No, it's not, sir. No.
But we are adopting it now.
It's important. Yes.
It's important.
Yes, we are adopting it. Yes, we are adopting it.
Now, so you are an expert. You are an expert that. You are an expert in that field.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I want you to. There's a misconception I want you to clear.
Okay.
You mentioned to us now that when you started your school, you attached Montessori to the name of your school.
To the name. Yeah.
Which is what many people are doing now. They attach the name Montessori. And then when you enter the school, you now ask them.
It doesn't Monte.
They say it's Montessori. It's not.
It doesn't Monte. In fact, it cannot even be sorry. So that's what they do. Now we have a lot of misconceptions.
Okay, I want you to do something now. I want you to give me a good argument. Give me a good argument for Montessori. Give me that argument, because I want people who are listening to me, people who have been hearing Montessori and they want to go for it. You understand? I want you to talk to us. Tell us why. Of course, you are an expert, and they will come to you for that. So tell us why they should go for Montessori.
We are proud of what we have. Yes. Now the adopting a Montessori method of education in a school make you stand out in your product.
Okay.
That is the children that you turn out, the learners that come out from you. They have a well-prepared environment and supported scheme that help them to bring out their innate potential. So they are not imitating anyone. They are not acting. They develop exactly as they have. Now, number one thing, just like you were talking about phonics now, phonics is a method that everyone is adopting because it makes reading easier. Children read early as 2+, 3+, they can make their sound, they can combine them together. And when they see, they can say those sounds. So soundable words are what they are introduced to first of all. So it helps them to break into literacy, into reading earlier than normal. Then they find it easy. When it comes to their number senses.
Is that Montessori? Huh? That's what Montessori does.
Yes, sir. Montessori phonics, yes. Now, the same thing in their number sense too. The way Montessori scheme introduce numbers, it makes it functional for the children. So children can relate with numbers from early years, and they can tell you stories about numbers. They can tell you the symbols, what it means. You know, mathematics is just a language of science. It is a language just like the sound too. So if you treat it the way you treat sound, and you treat numbers the way you treat sound, which Montessori has given us the opportunity to do, children, they build the knowledge themselves. What you own is different from what you borrow. What you own is yours, and you always be proud of it. And that is why they are outspoken. Children from Montessori setting, real Montessori school, children from Montessori setting or from a setting that embraces Montessori have this independent spirit. Sometimes you have people saying, you are spoiling these children. See how they are doing as they like. They are not doing as they like. There is freedom, limited freedom that we give them to be able to exploit their environment and now bring out their innate, they form their learning themselves. So their learning, it comes from them. There is a way you respect them to the extent that they are not afraid. They can express themselves, they can make their demand politely. And also when developing environments with a Montessori setting, their moral is also outstanding because they get to know the concept of their actions. When we teach them about living things, we don't teach them only living things that has that can breathe, that can move, that can die, that can compete, that can adapt. It goes beyond that. They also see that even things that are not living in the environment as life. So you treat your chairs with respect. You treat your tables with respect. So you don't grow children that will be vandals. From tender age, they learn how to respect their environment and also to care for plants, care for animals, care for themselves, care for other people. So this social skill is also developed. Now, in adopting a Montessori setting, you are having a bunch of children that grow up to strive naturally. They don't struggle with education. They don't find education tacky. They don't see it as a big deal because it's something that is natural. It's something that comes from them. Even also the directors, that is the educators in their charge, are also having pride in their work because they see their work working. Most of the time I see teachers say, wow, do you know the happiest moments I've ever had is when they bring those children nothing. They can't do anything. But in 3 weeks, in 3 weeks, I said 3 weeks, in 3 weeks, the difference will be clear. Even if the child is not scribbling yet, even in the level of independence. Yes, sir.
Mrs. Yama,
Yes,
it's good to talk to experts.
Yes.
When you are talking to an expert, it's like you are opening a page in the Bible that you have never seen.
Thank you. That's a great one.
Sometimes
knowledge is power.
I tell you, knowledge is power. Let me tell you why I said that. Yeah. When I speak with experts, Montessori experts, there is this confidence they have. They have this. It's like it's like you have a kind of secret, a key that is not common. It's true. It's like
that's true. That's true. You are right. You are right. You are right.
When I was young,
if you get it right, yes.
When I was young, everybody knows my story on this platform. That my mother was my teacher from the cradle up till when I became an entrepreneur. She taught me on every angle. Now I remember.
Thank you, mommy.
Yeah, I think we should give her to mommies. She will be hearing us now also.
They are the greatest.
Wonderful woman we have. Now there is something that she used to tell us. She would tell us that, and I took that statement until I grew. She would say, there is no child that is dull.
No.
She would say, she said, bring the child. I will teach. At the time, she would even tell us, that was back then when there was nothing like, or let's say when what they call autism now is not well rampant. So some children, they show some signs of maybe autistic signs. She will say, bring those autistic children. I will teach autism out of them.
Now, there is another point.
She's so confident of her teaching skills that she believes she can teach deformity out of a child.
Yes, that's true. That is true. I agree with that.
She was. So anytime I speak with experts like you, the kind of confidence, just as well, sometimes I ask myself, hope I will not go for this Montessori training now. I hope it's not.
You better do. Please come. We'll be happy to have you. Yes.
Before we continue, before I just hold your thoughts. You had given me up to like 4 advantages. I wasn't writing down. I know some people are writing. You are giving about 4 or 5 advantages. You're making a strong argument. We'll come back and talk about that program, that training that you have, that program you have coming up for those who want to become experts in Montessori. I'd like you to hold your thoughts. Don't lose them. We go for. We have a couple of people online. So many comments coming in. Somebody is saying quite enlightening. Someone from Allison Group of Schools, Sule, is with us. Okay. A lot of people guided treasure schools, Ibejuleki. Well, someone is telling us, Aishat Ajishafe, she said that having knowledge about Montessori method will help you know how to blend it in your curriculum to achieve results. And I thought you mentioned that that we are blending a lot of curriculums together. Having knowledge of Montessori method will help you to know how to blend it. Someone is saying, someone is also following us from far away, Abuja, Granny Susan's place, Abuja. And also, Madam Ajishafe said something before that. She said Montessori method is different from phonics and diction. Although phonics is part of Montessori. You said that. You have, she said phonics can be part of Montessori, but we have our ways of presenting the sounds. All right, let me go for another timeout. And then we come back and then we will continue. Please, everybody online, if you have not shared this class, I'd like you to just hit the share button, share it to all your platforms, share it to your own personal profile, share it to your friends. This is one of the it's one of the best platforms. This Yama can testify to that. We've been on this for years.
Yes, we have been here.
It has been so much as
and it's working. Yes.
I remember that day that you walked into our meeting and you were like, "Wow, Mr. Adeniji, where are you taking all of this?" I didn't know then how
this is good.
But I believe that God will help us.
Years back.
Yes, back. Thank you very much. So I'd like everyone to hang in there while I go for this short commercial break. And I want everyone to know, if you want us to advertise your own product also like this, we can do that. That's what we do. That's why we are. So just in a moment, I'll be back with you shortly.
Thank you.
All right. So these tablets are moving very fast. As you can see, this order is going right. It's been shipped out to Abuja. So if I were you, I'm going to order from mine now. This is the Thinkalai Android tablets. It runs perfectly. Runs all application. Zoom, Thinkalai, Google Classroom, Edmodo, name it. It's a widescreen, and the catch here is it comes with a keyboard, so your child is able to also type with it, unlike other tablets. So this is very smart. It comes in 64 gig and 4 gig RAM. There's also 3 gig, 2 gig RAM. There's always a specification for you. Get yours now.
Hello, school owner. You need a social media and web assistant, someone who will design flyers, beautiful flyers, twice every week, manage your website, and make sure that the beautiful things that happen in your school on daily basis well presented to an online audience, both your parents and even prospective parents who are not in your school. Every day in the life of a school is an event, is a story that can be packaged and told to the world. Unfortunately, many of us pay hundreds of thousands of naira, sometimes millions, as salaries, but we don't have anybody managing our image online. It will design 2 flyers per week, post those articles on your social media handles, also post them on your website, and follow up on your pages, comments, and all of that. Before you know it, you begin to get calls. Don't limit yourself to your physical environment. There are many people out there looking for your kind of school, but they are not seeing it because they are Googling it online, they are going on social media, they are not seeing you. So you need a social media assistant and a web assistant.
Everyone knows that on SOF we have 3 textbooks, and these are the books written by David Adeniji, Convener of the School Owners Forum. We're talking about the 4-legged school growth strategy. That is the best book when it comes to school growth. We're talking about thrive, how to thrive with your school business in this new era, especially after the pandemic. A whole new era came to school business and you need to learn it, Thrive is a book to read. And then talking about the indispensable teacher, no, there is no other book that helps you manage teachers more than that. Even teachers actually are the ones who need this book too. So you need the book as a school owner. The teachers also need the book. Just order these 3 copies. There's a combo package that is very cheap. That is the price there. You will see it, and then we're going to ship the books to you. The 4-legged school growth strategy, the indispensable teacher, and Thrive. Get those books today. Many of us use school management software that limit us in one way or the other because they have not been upgraded to meet present global trends. Now you need to switch to Thinkalai. Thinkalai is Nigeria's largest school management software. Switch to Thinkalai. It won't take you more than hours. We will do the switch for you. So it manages all your operations, admissions, exams, timetables, e-learning, online classes. Just name it. Bulk SMS. Everything is in it. Online exams, CBT. So switch to Thinkalai school management software today. So you can go to thinkalai.net. That is thinkalai.net. Go there and check the features.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for hanging in there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Mrs. Yama. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. And thank you, Mrs. Unimke. Mrs. Unimke is trying to reconnect. Mr. Emmanuel is in the room. Mr. Emmanuel, I'm bringing you back to the stream now. Mr. Emmanuel, I want to ask you that question again, and I'd like you to, your mic is muted. Let me unmute you. I have unmuted you now. So the question I was asking you the other time, Mr. Emmanuel, can you hear me? Mr. Emmanuel? Can you hear me, Mr. Emmanuel?
Okay.
Now.
All right. So, Mr. Emmanuel, let me unmute you. When I ask the question, I will let me mute you now. When I ask the question, I will just unmute you. All right. Okay. So, all right, Mr. Emmanuel, I was saying that what is in what way does oh sorry, let me go again. In what way does phonics and the learning of diction, in what way does it enhance the development of the children, you know, in their in education in their schools? In what way does it enhance the development of the children?
Very well, Mr. David.
So you can answer that question.
I can hear you very well.
Okay, we're not able to get it clearly. Well, let me come to Mrs. Unimke, if she can hear me. In what way does diction and phonics, which we have established that they are part of the Montessori education, in what way does it enhance the development of the children in education? Mrs. Unimke, if you can hear me. Anyway, we'll come back to them. Let me go back to Mrs. Yama. Mrs. Yama, you were making a point. I was going to ask you that you told me earlier that you are having a program where people will learn, can be trained on Montessori and be experts, so they are not going to be half-baked. People who want to run Montessori schools, instead of just attaching Montessori. See, we're not indicting anyone. If you are currently running a school and you didn't have Montessori training, you didn't have Montessori training, but you are running a school, you didn't have Montessori training, but you put Montessori on your name, it's not too late. And there's nothing to be shy about. It's like one who is an accountant who is not chartered. Or one who says, of course, I love our nation. We are all trying our best to improve the GDP of the nation, to make sure that unemployment is on the low, even though it's going high. So we are doing our best because I used to appreciate school owners a lot. Listen to me. I used to say every time that education is about the largest employer of labor in the urban, you know, in the other areas we can say farming and all of that, but in the urban areas, I tell you, especially in Lagos here, there are thousands, about close to 20,000 schools. Consider those jobs. So I used to give it up every time for school owners who have tens, 20, hundreds of people on their payroll. So if you have been running that school and you are running the school, you put Montessori. It means you love it. It is good to go for training. That is why I brought an expert. So Ms. Yama, talk to me about how I can become satisfied. I can become a certified Montessori or professional, or how do I put it? Go on.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Now, why I will actually appreciate people that are interested in practicing Montessori, because it's not easy. When we started, it's a lot of money. At least you have close to #1 million before you can go for any training on Montessori. But having gathered all the experiences, and so I started teaching since 1993. I've tried all methods, but the one that I see that has really helped us. You know, we have two challenges in education: learning difficulty and learning disabilities. Why learning difficulties most of the time is because of the way we present our home format of education. We don't have clear direction. So it makes
let me pause you. You mentioned something now. You said we have two challenges in education: learning difficulties and learning
in the classrooms. Now, in the classrooms, let me be specific. In the classrooms,
we have challenges in the classroom with the learners.
Yes.
Learning difficulties and what?
And learning disabilities.
And learning disabilities.
They are not the same.
Go on, man.
Yes. So those are the once you can overcome those challenges in your classroom, you become a super educator. Now, Montessori is one way that I personally have discovered that can help reduce learning disability and eradicate learning difficulties. While it can reduce learning disability, it surely eradicates learning difficulties. Now, there's a lot of things. Now, when we have children that you already are aware of are having this, you know, learning disability has to do with connection with the brain, how the brain process, retain, and also releases information. Now, by the time the presentation method in the classroom, it's down to earth, it's natural, it helps the children, like the ones that are having dyslexia. When you present sound to them from the ground, from the object, and they can touch it gradually, at least it reduces it. Dyscalculia is the same thing. Yes, sir.
I want you to talk about the training, your outfit.
Oh, yes.
Because time is running out. I don't want to.
We have, it's true. Okay, man. Now, to make it so easy for educators, I've been passionate about them, and the more people know, the better the environment becomes. So we are organizing a 5 days. We normally organize. This one is another series that is coming up next month on the 19th to 23rd of April. And it's going to involve all the subjects in Montessori. It's going to be a lot of power pack experience, because what I specialize in is improvisation. In your learning, we are Africans. In your learning, if you can have materials that will do the same thing, like all those imported materials we do, you will see achieve the same thing. It also has to do about creativity. When you are creative. So you'll be taught on all the subjects, introduction to the content, all the improvisation materials. You'll be taught about new 21st century methods that we now approach Montessori with. You know, we have traditional Montessori setting. The one that you cannot change, you cannot blend. Then we now have this our own format of 21st century packaged Montessori that is still giving us the same results. You understand? All we need is the principle. So for 50,000 5 days, lunch inclusive and breakfast and certificate too. Educators can come on board. School owners can come on board.
How can they come on board? How do they connect with you?
They will register. They will register. I think my phone number is being.
Yes, your phone number is here. Your phone number is on the screen.
Yes.
You can read it out.
Yes. That's 080-233-02705. That is my phone number. And we are going to organize it. We are organizing the training. Is already on. We have had series. We used to have a 3-month stretch, but for the short break we want to have now, so that people will be equipped to go in and practice by content.
Hello, ma'am. For how long have you been having these batches of training, and how impactful,
over 5 years.
How impactful has it been?
Over 5 years, and anybody that comes to, because my own kind of training format is generation of energy. That is, I load you with energy. So when you go anywhere you go, you charge the environment. That's how it can work. So when you charge your environment, it is actually, it's testimonies are banned anywhere. People that have been on board for some time in the area should have heard one or two things about Jolly Edugrowth Network and what we do, what we have achieved, and what we are proud of. We don't appreciate long thing. We do ours is short, sharp, and precise. And
so how many days is the training? How many days?
5 days. We are having it for 5 days. 5 days.
And so if I come for that training, you believe that I would have moved from this level to the next level where I can be proud to say, okay, when I start Montessori to the name of my school, I will not be, I know, I will know my onions.
Because we have a follow-up package too. You understand? Okay. We'll stay with you until you can stand on your own. We are going to stay with you, put you through. And once people have direction, they go places. When they have direction, they go places, except the desire is not there. So if you're actually looking for the next level that some of us have been enjoying and we are proud of, it makes the work so easy, and we are happy because the products that we have. So I recommend the training for everyone. Yes, sir.
Mrs. Yama, I want you to give me just give me one word that if I come for your 5 days training, there will be a difference in my school and in my children.
Yes, you know that because we are proud.
You're not a businessman, I'm doing business. So I want the end result. The end result for the children. You understand?
There are two words. There are 2 words that I want you to hold anytime you want to come for our training. Excellence and value.
Excellence and
value. When you see it, you know it. Yes. Just know that you are coming for excellence. Yes. Jolly
Edugrowth Network. And where are you located?
For excellence and value. Isheri Olofin.
All right, in Lagos.
The Lasso access. On your way to Lasso. That's the Lagos State University. Yeah.
All right.
So that is
it's been wonderful. It's been interesting and wonderful, impactful. Talking to you.
Yes, I really appreciate coming on board too.
Also, I appreciate Mrs. Nimke. We're not able to connect very well, but I'm sure I'm going to bring Mrs. Nimke and Mr. Emmanuel on another seat. Next week, we are continuing this. We're not ending it yet. We are continuing this thing next week. I like to remind everyone who has been on the program with us of all I've been talking about, what we have been advertising. I've been talking about digital assistants for your school, social media assistant, website assistant. Many of us have difficulty connecting with this meeting because you don't have someone who's an expert in that field. So I'm encouraging everyone, every school who is following us, your school needs a social media assistant. The price is just 30,000 naira monthly. We're going to design flyers for you. Your social media assistant will design beautiful flyers, 2 flyers per week. We'll post articles on your, so in case you have a program coming up, your cultural day, in short, many things you do in school are not well advertised. Your parents don't know your worth. Many of your parents, their WhatsApp status, their Facebook pages don't have anything about your school. And those are advertising channels for your school. In a very short time, you are going to experience growth in your population because people begin to know about your school far and wide, just like this program now. After this program, many more people will view it over and over and over again. It is kind of advertisement that doesn't end. Do you understand? So you need a social media assistant and you need a web assistant. It's going to manage your website also, post articles on your website. And then I have been talking about our books. Do I have copies here? Of course, I always have copies of my book here. The 4-legged school growth strategy, the indispensable teacher, and Thrive. This is the 4-legged school growth strategy. I think I have, our books are always here. This is Thrive, and this is Thrive, and this is the Indispensable Teacher. The combo price of these 3 books is just 20,000 for the 3 books. And also, we have been talking about Think Alike. As I've been talking to you, a few people have started asking me about switching to Think Alike. The time is almost ending. You should go digital while everything is fine. On behalf of the whole team that we have conducted the broadcast today, Mrs. Toloko Yama, one word, just one word, one closing word from you, ma. Closing word.
Yes, I always tell everyone that's an educator that you are the best the world can ever have. So keep doing it and keep winning. Thank you so much.
All right, so that's a good one. Keep doing it. Keep winning. Mr. Emmanuel, thank you very much. Mrs. Unimke from Calabar, thank you very much. Until next week, same time, when we come your way again. Once again, I am David Adeniji, by the grace of God, convener. I'm David Adeniji, once again, by the grace of God, convener of the School Owners Forum. Let's meet again next week, by the grace of God. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.